Following a rather busy December, CSGO has taken a bit of a break from updates this January. Until now. In short, Vertigo, Abbey and Zoo have been added to the game, and Austria and Subzero have been removed. Biome remains and has had a few changes. You no longer need a phone number tied to your account to get Prime, reaching level 21 will do. And there have been some bug fixes regarding sound files. But I think knowing what's changed is boring. What's far more interesting is why these changes have been made. Let's start with Vertigo. This map has been around in some form or another for almost 20 years. Despite this, it has had a bumpy ride since it was reintroduced into the game for CSGO. It has always been the ideal map for trolls. People would chuck the bomb off the side, bots would plummet to their deaths trying to retrieve it. Valve eventually updated the game so that the bomb would teleport back to where it was thrown off from. Then players began throwing themselves off the side. Eventually, Valve updated the game to kick people who suicided too many times. And then, because it was one of the least popular maps, it was abused by parties looking to rank or de-rank quickly. Add to that the questionable layout and gameplay balance, and it's obvious why it was finally removed from the game in 2017. In fact, the only question I have is why it wasn't done sooner. But now it's back, and its layout is so different it might as well be a new map. Right now, the only way you can play it is in wingman mode, and you can only access bombsite B. But even bombsite A, and the routes leading to it, have been changed, leading me to believe that they will at some point release it as a full diffuse map again, at some point in the future. I edited the map to open it all up, so if you want to, you can download it in the video's description and play it 5v5 or with bots or whatever you want to do with it. On to the other two new maps now. Abbey and Zoo have been introduced into casual play. Although, saying that, I have covered both of these before. Zoo was in the game as part of Operation Bloodhound in 2015, and while Abbey will be new to most people, it was one of the finalists in MapCore's 2017 mapping contest, along with Biome, which is already officially part of CSGO. If history repeats itself, in about a month, Zoo and Abbey will be moved into competitive play. This is what happened to Subzero and Biome, when they were introduced in the same way 3 months ago. Of course, nothing's set in stone, and I'm assuming this time in casual play is to give Valve time to collect stats from matches played on them. Judging from the changes that Subzero and Biome had during this stage, I wouldn't be surprised if this information was shared with the mappers themselves. But this is just speculation on my part. I don't know if we'll ever get a new operation again, but maybe it won't matter. Perhaps slipping a couple of community maps into the game every couple of months works better in some way. Valve are the ones with all the information, and if you want to help CSGO to become a better game with a better map pool, go play some matches on Zoo and Abbey to help Valve to determine whether they're worth keeping. For all we know, one of these could be the next Dust 2 and become our new favourite of all time. But to make way for these new maps, others had to go. So with this update, Austria and Subzero have been removed from the game. I got the feeling that these were popular, but I guess they weren't popular enough. Biome remains and has received some decent changes to its layout, which I will cover now. The timings across the whole map have changed, rendering my contact point analysis well and truly dead. Terrorists are roughly 200 units further away from the middle and bombsite B, and 200 closer to A. This equates to 0.8 seconds when running with a knife, which is not insignificant. The official explanation for this change to the spawn positions is to give CTs better mid-timings, but it changes everything. If terrorists are on their way to A, they may now have time to hide in this corner, whereas before they certainly did not. And it gives CTs almost a second more to prepare grenades at B, and those foolishly pushing through the red door here will face more distant enemies rather than to have them all up in their faces being all shooty and stuff.
They're all dead.
Also for long A, the connection leading to main hall has been sealed up, which changes things a lot. It simplifies this half of the map, as you will no longer have a quick route to rotate between the entrances. Something that will change things both pre and post plant. And with it, long A has become something you really have to commit to. But if it pays off, you're given a powerful angle into bombsite A and a route bypassing both sites and mid, leading straight to CT spawn and by extension the rest of the map, which could be super effective. Bombsite A itself has seen a few changes. Sightlines to and from main hall have been obstructed by an increased amount of cover, and while you used to have to jump up and over a stack of wood to get to long A, there's a new large set of stairs to do the hard work, so you don't have to. Since Biome's inclusion in the game, middle has already seen radical changes made to it, but now it's seen another, the old CT entrance being sealed up completely, and a ladder being added to give access to the sniper's nest to those pushing through mid. But let's be honest, both this and the boost box are difficult passages for terrorists to take. I feel these changes have been made to deter terrorists from taking these routes, which means that when they do happen, they're all the more sneaky. If the patch notes are to be believed, you'll get better frame rates on this map now, which I suspect was done by removing or by replacing foliage with lower quality models. Note the cardboard cutout plants here, which used to be fully 3D. Several clipping and bomb stuck issues have also been fixed, and, my personal favourite, the curbs at CT spawn no longer fade out early. Well done. Several sound bugs have been addressed to make sneaking more reliable. If you fall and take damage, or if you jump, the associated sounds will be played more consistently. At this point I'm simply reading out the patch notes, since I don't think any more explanation about these is required. And lastly, changes to Prime. Making the game free to play last month was a bold move from Valve, and one that most of us didn't expect. It was a change that a lot of people vocally disagreed with, worrying that it would flood our matches with cheaters. But Valve hasn't backtracked. In fact, with this update they've gone further still, letting you reach Prime, for free, without even needing a phone number tied to your account. That's right, once you reach level 21, you will immediately be upgraded to Prime, granting you access to matches that are away from the free-to-play rabble that have just started out with the game. You may see it as the game becoming less secure, simple as that. But it could be seen as Valve dropping the measures that they decided didn't work and instead putting more reliance on the things that they think work better, such as the trust factor. This is something that takes into account a huge number of variables about your account and you as a person, silently filtering out the players it thinks are more likely to ruin matches. I will say once again that there's more in place to stop cheaters than simple time or money invested into their account. There's still VAC and Overwatch weeding out cheaters that get through the other security measures. But this update can be seen as a statement from Valve. Going free to play was a bold move, but clearly they didn't think it was enough, now confidently taking another step in the same direction. I don't know their master plan, but they're not showing any signs of backtracking. And so concludes the first interesting update of 2019.